One of the common problems with these R107 SLs is the throttle linkage mechanism. This here, it gets very slack over time and a lot of the bushes wear out, and in this particular case it has an important bush missing here altogether, which gives it this play and this movement. So the first thing we're going to do is replace this part here. It's known as an intermediate part. It's part number 11007 20038. It's basically a bush that just fits over there and stops that moving around. And these parts are new. The rubber's not very flexible and it's actually incredibly difficult to fit it in, but you've got to fit it in this part first. So what I've done is I've just put a little bit of grease on there. In fact, I didn't have any grease, so I used engine oil just to help it clip in there. It's actually a lot harder than it looks, getting this plastic grommet in. Where I did the top bit is just to put one half in first, like the bottom half, like that. Use the screwdriver just to push the top half in, and then use a pair of a wrench just to clip the last bit in. But once you've got it in, there's no movement here at all now. It'll revolutionise your accelerator pedal. There should be a little circlet, whatever they're called, that goes in there to stop that popping out. So I'm just going to pop that in there, and then we're going to try the accelerator pedal. Okay, we replace this, makes the accelerator obviously a lot better, but there's a missing bush here, and what has happening when you put the foot on the accelerator, you'll get this huge movement in the pedal here up and down before it actually engages. The next stage of getting this throttle linkage on this Mercedes R107 working is to not replace because it's not there actually, is to put in what's called a ball joint in there, which looks like this. And that is part number MA1263010485. Put that part in, you've basically got to take that rod out, which I'm going to try and do now. The way to get this throttle linkage off is first to break this ball joint. Just put something like a spanner in there and click it open. Next, we need to take the clip out of here. Once you've done that, that will just push back and spring it out. Just connecting the rod out from the throttle linkage, I'm actually going to just clean it up. But before I do, you'll notice that it's actually joined here by a nut and bolt, and this is loose. There's at least 1 millimeter of play in that. So before I put it on, I'm just going to tighten that up, give it a little clean with engine degreaser. The way this all goes back together is first you put a spacer ring on the rod, and that's part number 10930100051, and that's actually £3.45 for that tiny plastic spacer that goes on there. Next up, put the spring on, whoops, without dropping it. Once you've got the spring on, this bushing here, part number 11630100150, fits in the ball joint like that. On most cars this will still exist and won't have worn out. You can't get that from Mercedes anymore. You can get it from SL Part Shop. It's about £2. The ball joint is probably the cheapest Mercedes part you'll ever buy. It's 85p, and it's part number 12630100485. So those parts again, okay? Just to let you know, the spacer ring, that's a small plastic ring, the most expensive part in the whole world, if you ask me, £3.45. The joint ball, which almost always is worn out on these cars when you first look at them, is 80p. This part number here is for the bushing which goes inside the joint ball, stops it wandering up and down. You can't get that from Mercedes anymore, but you can get it from SL Part Shop for about £2. This part here, the rubber grommet, which actually goes inside the firewall down here, from Mercedes costs £31.10. You can get that from the SL Part Shop, I later found out, for about £5 if you are going as far as replacing that. Getting the throttle linkage rod back on is the reverse of taking it off. The only thing you may need is a set of pliers or wrench of some description just to click that part back in place. When you do put it back together, don't forget to put some synthetic grease on that joint and make sure that's nice and tight. Okay, with this ball joint inserted now, you can see there's no movement anymore. So when you press the accelerator pedal, all of that movement is transferred to this rod here. We still have a tiny little bit of movement inside. You can, interestingly enough, now that I've actually put that in, you can see that this is no longer an adjustment. This rod needs to be lengthened here to put that back, just touching that micro switch. So we now need to lengthen that, and while we're taking all this off, we might as well clean and oil it as well. Linkage. The next job is just to replace this tiny little plastic washer or runner here. They tend to wear out, sometimes they crack and go all together, but as they wear out they become thinner, creating a tiny little bit of play. So I'm just going to try and change that. On top of it is a little circlet which I'm going to try and get off without losing. I'm going to use a watchmaker's screwdriver, but almost certainly it will flick off, never to be seen again. But let's see how we get on. Just to conclude, this little roller ball here is part number 1800720393, and it costs £1.10 from Mercedes.